Yeah, welcome back to the show. Let's go to line 1. Hello, Angus. You're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, sir. You?
I'm fine, thank you.
Right.
I haven't called since maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Well, it's about time, sir.
Yeah, I think Pomeroy was
Ron Pumphrey, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm calling about the Muskrat policy issue, and one side that everybody seems to be not talking about.
Go right ahead.
Is that back in Labrador, even today, Inuit and settlers still hunt and gather for their food, which is way cheaper than going to the grocery store up there. And the more projects that are being put together up there, like mining and the dam and whatnot, that means less hunting and fishing areas for the people up there.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I heard mention about this before on when the other guy was on, saying that but we still need to hunt and fish. As I said, it's way cheaper than going to the grocery store buying a piece of chicken for like $30-something.
Well, I completely understand that, and I'm sure most of our listeners do. But given the expanse of the land in Labrador, is any way of life or opportunity to hunt and fish truly jeopardized by Muskrat Falls, or just some of the ground that is now being used currently, but there's other places where it can indeed be achieved?
Well, that area is good, like quality hunting ground for the fish and the birds and even the caribou. And once you build that dam, you're taking away prime property for like wildlife.
Yeah, but if the caribou move from that area that is going to be affected, and no question it will be, but they're only going to move somewhere else that people can also hunt them, right? Or am I missing part of the argument, sir?
Well, you're doing the same thing you did on Newfoundland. How many Newfoundlanders that actually goes hunting now? They got to wait till moose hunting season is open or cod fishing season is open.
That's right.
Like, I don't see that on the island. Like, they don't hunt like they used to on the island anymore. But in Labrador, we still do.
Yeah, but so there's a benefit that you enjoy.
Hunting and fishing, yeah.
Yeah, sure, but I mean...
But more mining or stuff like Muskrat Falls goes on, there's less areas we got to hunt and fish, because there'll be regulations coming up where we can't shoot off our rifle to kill an animal.
Well, maybe we should regulate the hunting and fishing period in Labrador, including all the Aboriginals. Is that the right thing to do?
Well, there are regulations, but look, what my comparison is from the island to Labrador.
Yeah.
On the island, if I wanted to go hunting, I can't. In Labrador, we still can't. In certain areas, we can't no more around Moisey Bay.
Yeah. Do you think or agree that some of these balances, some of these compromises, some of the loss of hunting and fishing land to get involved in any of these industrial developments is just part and parcel with the development of industry? Or should it be our starting point of thought be the preservation of way of life as opposed to the development of industry?
It is a preservation of way of life, because like, we've been doing this for thousands and thousands of years, and every year there's a new mining company, there's new business going on up there, and with that happening, that eliminates our hunting and fishing zones.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of people on the island who would be listening to the program this afternoon, Angus, they will be thinking, you know what, with the givens for you to endure and have your way of life preserved, and that any of these developments are obviously going to have an adverse effect on some of the things that you hold dear to your heart. So maybe they don't understand it. Maybe when it's not front of mind or right in your own front or backyard, that you just turn a blind eye to it. And I'm sure that's some of the reaction people on the island are giving to things you're saying. I completely understand, but in my opinion, I think that there's a bit too much attention to Aboriginals being allowed to hunt and fish whenever they like compared to the regulated business that the rest of us have to subscribe to or ascribe to. So what do you say to those folks who say, you know what, just because you're Aboriginal doesn't mean you should be able to hunt caribou when you like? How about the rest of us want to get a moose whenever we like?
Well, that's the thing. You guys come to Labrador and regulate how we live. you do what you want in Labrador, then you build rules and laws and regulations we have to follow.
Well, that's
where
right.
At one time we never had to.
Yes, but that's the way it was one time is not the way it is any longer, though, right? I mean,
exactly. So my point is, like, our hunting and fishing areas are depleting, and no one seems to care.
I think people do.
It's okay for me in St. John's to go to Solby's and buy a piece of chicken, a whole chicken for like $13, $14. If you do the same, get the same chicken in Nain, you're paying like over $30.
Oh, we all think that's ridiculous, sir. We all do. We're on your side on that one. The cost of the bare necessities and milk and fruit, we know that it's ridiculous, the prices you have to suffer. Yeah.
And we're in the same province, which is ridiculous.
It is. Well, you know, some of that's geography. It's just like here in St. John's. If I have to pay, say, $10 for a doodad, to know that in Halifax it's $6, I'm also a victim of that in some regard. Not to the extent you are, but certainly we are all hurt by our geography here so far as the cost of goods go. No question about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in a bad spot there. Angus, listen, nobody disagrees with your point and your concerns. Nobody ever really knows either.
And no one brought it up.
Oh, we've heard about it. Oh yeah, we certainly have. People have spoken to it, but we don't. You know, many people on the island, they don't think like you do because they are not living like you do, and you understand that. It's the same thing that you can put yourself in my shoes.
They used to at one time, but they can't anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair comment.
Okay, and another point I wanted to bring up was I was at the House of Assembly when they were talking about that bill for Muskrat.
Yes, sir.
And I was appalled watching it. It was disgrace. It was sad. It wasn't even... I was so rotted by seeing what I saw. While the Premier Dunderdale gave her presentation, the opposition sat back and listened to it. When it came to the opposition's turn to give their presentation remarks, the PCs all sat down and grabbed their iPhones and iPads and textbooks, and I don't think they even paid attention to what the opposition had to say.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, I mean, it reminds me of, like, today's schooling, kids taking their phones to school, not paying attention to what's being said and just grabbing their effing iPhones. It was ridiculous.
It's hard.
This is our government. The people that was elected to represent us,
yes, sir,
grab their iPhones when opposition start talking. And they say they wanted to hear what the opposition had to say. That to me, was very, very disrespectful.
To you and many, sir, the decorum or the lack thereof in the House of Assembly is certainly nothing to write home about. And a lot of people who watch it, you have to look away in disgust sometimes because it really is a sight to behold. It's not great.
It was so, like, I was rotting with it. Yes, I was sitting up there and I wanted to say something, but I know if I did, I would have been dragged out of there.
Well, you should say whatever you like, and I'm glad you took the opportunity this afternoon to call the show, because here you can say whatever you please, sir, and I'm glad you did.
Yeah, and I did not expect the Premier to do the same thing, but she did when the opposition was talking. She grabbed her phone and started texting or whatnot.
Yeah. It's not great. They owe us all.
And she's the leader of the people who's getting all these praise about how good she is. Not in my book, I'm sorry.
Angus, thanks for your call, sir. All the very best.
Okay, thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.